What's up guys, Joe here, welcome back to my channel, and today we are back with the end of season kind of analysis video here with FC Nordsjaelland. I'm looking forward to this and really getting into how we won the league, how we've had such a great season, and yeah, let's get it. So firstly, I think we'll go through some of our main players, take a look at them and take a look at the pivotal players really that have enabled us to win the league this season. So firstly, Peter Vindal has played every single game this season. Let's just change that to the attribute analysis. Yeah, 7 average rating for a goalkeeper. I know they've buffed the ratings on the new Football Manager, but to me, that is a great season. He's had a great year. I mean, hasn't been injured at all. Conceded 27 goals in 32 games. We have conceded less goals than we have games played. That is pretty unreal, I would suggest. And Vindal really has been the key to that. Further to that, Kian Hansen, to me, really has been our rock at the back this year. He's one of our eldest players in the team, I think, bar Johan Juru. And yeah, 7.14 average rating. No goals, no assists. Doesn't matter at all. He has a 94% pass accuracy, 74% tackles won as well. Played all games in the league bar one. He was absolutely pivotal to our great defensive showing this year. Will we keep him next year? I'm not sure, because his contract is expiring and he is wanted by a few teams. I feel like we could cash in on Kian Hansen. Maybe a mistake, but he is aging and declining already. Next up, we have the man, the myth, Isaac Atanga. And actually, since recording the last episodes, in real life, this man has moved on from FC Nordsjaelland. He has gone to Cincinnati, but here, he is our star man. 24 goals and 4 assists in 30 total games in the league. In the end, it was a 7.25 average match rating. His pace, dribbling, off the ball movement, and his finishing, to be fair, is unreal for this league. His value has skyrocketed to 4.3 mil. 4.5 stars current ability as well at 20 years old. And looking at the wanted clubs, it's going to be difficult to hold on to him. I really want to, unless we can really cash in for at least 25 million. Surprising one for me, Daniel Svensson has played the 4th most games in the league, and really that is because we have few options at left back. That is really the one position I want to try and maybe get another option in for next season. Svensson is a good young player. He's not a brilliant, world-class young player at that left back position. 7 assists, and that says to me, if we do get a real star in this left back position, then really they can deliver a fantastic season. But Svensson, he's been solid on £250 per week. We cannot complain with his output. Now onto a funny one, Kamaldeen Sulemana. Now, this man, when I started this save, I expected him to be the star of the show. He has really, yeah, I mean, he's so quick, great dribbling, great technique, really flair, just a flair winger really. But his progress, he hasn't really developed at all this season. And he has been inconsistent, so inconsistent, I cannot tell you. His final game of the season, 2 goals, 2 assists, 9.3 average match rating in the first half. But you can see before that, 6.4s, doing nothing for the entire game. Such a difficult one. I really want him to do well, but he needs to be more consistent. On to Magnus Kofod then, and 4 goals, 6 assists in 26 games. It's okay. We played him as a deep line playmaker, really, for the first half of the season. But he seems to much better suit that central midfield attack role. But yeah, he's probably one of our best players, if not our best player on paper. He's so well-rounded. I was expecting quite a lot of interest in this man. None has come in just yet. And by the way, 126 appearances already for the team. He has been around since 2017, where he played almost all the league games. So Kofod, I want to keep him around. But again, if we get an offer upwards of 20 million for any of our star players, I have to consider it. Jurgard Jensen is a solid centre-back. He fell out of the team to Maxwell Waledzi really in the second half of the season, or the final third of the season. He's solid, but he's 24. He's not really going to develop massively. He's not very quick either. So I think he may be a bit more of a bit part player next season. Now on to Mads Tykosen. Again, a player who probably isn't going to develop massively at this point in his career. He's solid enough, he works hard, that's for sure. He's fairly quick as well. He had a decent year at right back. I'm not sure he's our right back of the future in this save, But yeah, Mazda he's a solid player. He did okay this year. Now on to one of my favourite players in this team, Abu Francis. 21 starts, 6 off the bench, 5 goals, 8 assists as well. He's just turned 20 years old and he is a real talent. Great player going forward. Great dribbling, technique, vision, as you can see. And he has developed, sporadically, but his form has been good. And I really want to give this man plenty of game time next season, up to £3.2 million as well. Now, Jakob Christensen, for me, is a player who, on paper, looks absolutely fantastic. 19 years old, already 77 appearances, including the 23 this season. He hasn't performed this year in that deep line playmaker role. He has 14 vision, 13 passing. To me, he seems to suit the role really well. He's even composed, for the league. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is with this man. Maybe it's a player traits. I don't know. But something about Jakob Christensen is not quite working right now. On to Mohamed Diamonde, who's had a bit of a injury troubled season, I would say. Lots of niggling injuries, it seemed. Let's take a look, actually, what he's had. So 2 injuries, 6 weeks and 3 weeks each one though. So some fairly big injuries right there. So he started 18 games, 4 goals, 5 assists. A bit more consistency is what we're looking for here. Now, Jonathan Amon, for me, has been one of the revelations of this save so far. He's 22, so one of the slightly older players in the team. He's worth 775k, and he doesn't have bags of potential apparently, but he is very quick, a good dribbler, good at the things you want to do technically and physically as a winger. He is very poor mentally. I usually am a big fan of a mentally strong player, but he has been great so far. Compared to what I expected, I think Eamon has been solid and I want to keep him around for sure. Ollie Viladsen is a solid right back for me. He's natural as a winger. I like him as a right back. I'm trying to develop his defensive attributes a little bit. And yeah, he fell out the team to Mazda. He wasn't performing brilliantly, but 19 years old. I really hope he can continue developing. Still 5-star potential apparently. Victor Jensen had spells of brilliance and then spells of inconsistency, to be honest, and I think we'll probably let him go back to Ajax. Now, Max Wiledzi came into the team later on in the season, performed fantastically. 7.32 average rating in those 10 games. He can't really pass. He's not very great technically, on the ball, but defensively he is so good. 19 years old. He's good physically, well-rounded mentally as well, and great at what you need defensively. And I really want to try and give Wiledzi plenty more games next season. The star of the season for me, really, in terms of our young players. He's just turned 17 years old, literally a few days ago. The red arrows make him look much less attractive than he did before as an FM player, but 6.81 average rating. He's been okay. He hasn't been great performance-wise, but considering he has just turned 17, he has been 16 for this entire year. I've tied him down to a new contract as well. So yeah, Andreas Sheldrup is a player I am really looking forward to in this save, and hopefully he can really continue developing. Ibrahim Sadiq really played a bit part role this year, but he did score the goal that won us the league against Copenhagen, and for that I am very thankful. Not sure how much he'll play. I'd really like him to get a bit quicker, which I'm training him in, and he is improving in, so let's see if he can develop. Now, Chukwuani is 18 years old, and he is a real talent. I really want to try and give this man game time as well, but you've seen the amount of centre mids we have who are talented. So difficult to balance it correctly and give all of them the opportunities you want to. And yeah, I want to do that a lot more next season. 6 starts and 8 sub appearances really isn't good enough for me. Erica Teng, the faceless Erica Teng, according to my face pack, he's our backup left back for now. I'm not sure whether he really has a long-term future at the club though, sadly. Joachim Rothman, he came off the bench a few times and he was okay for spells this season. He grabbed a few important goals. I'd have liked him to get a few more. He did have a higher XG than goals, only just. But yeah, he's solid. I'm not sure how good he can be though. I'll try and give him some game time, but if Atang is still at the club, he is our number one, that's for sure. Now, Johan Juru, you will see, is listed for transfer. I think he started the first game he had, but yeah, I wanted to give the chances to the youth players at the team. He's okay, but I think at 3.7k per week, definitely time to move this man on. Now, Andreas Bredal has been given an opportunity a little more since Kamaldeen really went off form and since he's just continually struggled after me persisting with him. So, I mean, Bradal hasn't taken that chance with both hands, but he has shown glimpses for me. And looking at his attributes, he is very, very well rounded, fairly good physically. He's fairly big as well, 182 centimeters, 77 kilograms, solid technically, all the way down the column as well. So I think we can try and give him some more opportunities as well. He's wanted on loan by Copenhagen. He's not going on loan to Copenhagen. He's good enough to definitely have an impact on our first team, I think. Now, Oliver Rimmen is a player I've tried to give some chances to, and he's been okay, but again, like Bradal, hasn't really taken them with both arms. He's not very physically imposing, but he's fairly solid. Not quite sure what his best position is, I guess, as that inverted winger. The thing is, the man you just saw, Andreas Bradal, I probably prefer him over Rimmen right now. Now, Andreas Garley has just turned 18. He's hardly played in the league this year. We have so many good central midfielders, but he is solid, and I definitely want to give him some more games next year. And I do want to quickly show you the players that have been out on loan this season, especially the better ones. So Toni Miettinen, I haven't said that name actually out loud just yet, but he's an okay centre-back, not sure. He hasn't really developed as much as I hoped on loan back in Finland, and yeah, we'll see if he gets any games. Not quite sure on that. Oliver Antman, though, is a player I tried to give some game time to earlier in the year. I found it difficult. Again, he wasn't really fitting in up top, and we had so many good central midfielders that he just couldn't get in the team. I loaned him out to the Swedish league. He's done very well there. 1 goal, 4 assists. It's a solid kind of loan spell for him, and I think he is due some games next year. Emeka Namini is another one. He went on loan to the Danish second division, and he is quick, but he's not quite well-rounded technically or mentally just yet, but he is very quick and he has a lot of potential. Silkeborg as well have been promoted, so they are a team that we will see next year, and he has contributed to that. By the way, Daniel Geertsen is still just 15 years old. He has 15 reflexes, 14 kicking, solid mentals, I mean, in parts, to be fair. 20 determination stands out, obviously, but he is a player who I really want to give some game time next year if we can. Obviously, Vindal has been great, but I want to maybe try and play Geertsen in the cup competitions. Maybe too early. What do you guys think? He's driven as well. What a man. So the league campaign finished with us on 70 points, over 2 points a game. And if you're doing that, you always have a great chance at the league. Rwanders, by the way, they made the championship group. Look at their form after the league split into the championship group. They won 1 game, drew another game to Copenhagen and lost the rest. Lost their last, is that 7 games? That is a shocker, including 7-0 to us in the final game of the season. And look at the relegation stage as well. They actually had 29 points, so they would have been obviously 5th bottom or second bottom in the relegation stage. I mean, obviously they have played everyone in the championship group, so they're playing the top teams. Not quite fair, but they were really outclassed in that championship group. But Brøndby and Lyngby relegated, massive surprise. And in the second division, we do have Esbjerg and Silkeborg coming up as well. Very close for that second place, but Silkeborg and Esbjerg will replace Brøndby and Lyngby. So I do want to run through the league stats and see really how we won the league and how we performed so well. Lyngby, by the way, average possession 55%. They finished bottom of the league. We only have 52%. Copenhagen 47. You can see possession really isn't critical in this league right now. I mean, we won the fewest headers. That's always positive, I guess. Lowest headers won ratio as well. So we're not the best team in the league. In fact, we're the worst team in the league in the air right now. Our discipline was okay. I think we got a red card in the first game of the season. Horsens, 7 red cards in 32 games. Points per game over 2. Great stuff right there. And our finishing form was absolutely brilliant. But this is where it really gets interesting for me. So we scored the most goals in the league, 67. Not by a massive margin, but Copenhagen and Midtjylland probably would be quite disappointed with their final totals, especially if we go to the expected goals for. We were second behind Midtjylland and only just ahead of Copenhagen. So those guys really underperformed regarding their finishing, but we were the best goal scoring team in the league by the end of the season. And we were the best defensive team as well, only just beating Aalborg, Midtjylland, Copenhagen further back, but 27 goals conceded in 32. I'm really impressed with us for that record, to be fair. Really happy with that. Expected goals against as well, we were the best team in the division. And when it comes to clean sheets, we were only tied with Aalborg actually, so probably quite a lot of games with us conceding 1 goal. Dribbles per game as well, we are the best team just there. So I think that really shows where we are dominant. We're great on the counter attack, coming forward quickly, dribbling quickly, running at the defence, and that is where we get our goals, it seems to me. And I must say, this general performance screen is something I absolutely love in this year's FM, especially here. You can see exactly where we've performed well compared to the rest of the league. And really, the only places we haven't outperformed the league on average is tackles won ratio. So we're not the best tackling team in terms of success rates, and we're not the best passing team either in terms of pass completion. 84% really isn't that high, but we have found a way to defend well and score a lot somehow, despite not passing well or tackling well, I guess. So looking at our squad depth, to me it's pretty clear. I think we need a backup striker. I'm not sure if Rothman is the man for that role. I do want to kind of give him a chance, but at the same time, I'm not certain he's quite up to that role, especially if Hatanga gets injured for a long time, for example, we'll be in trouble. Through the midfield, I think we're pretty solid throughout. Left back, we need to improve. We need a better left back, I'm sure. Svensson has been the man playing there. He's been great, but I'd like a really top-class player in that role if we can get them. But at the same time, I'm talking about transfers here. I really want to try and give chances to our squad where possible. So that is what I'm going to try and do. Centre-backs, we have a fair few options. Waledzki, like I said, want to give him more opportunities. Right back as well, maybe a position we can try and look at. So we have been the best defensive team in the league this season, despite me really not being happy with our defence, I guess. So yeah, I think right back, left back, maybe a striker are probably our positions I'm looking to focus on in the transfer window, if any. So I do want to quickly give a little overview as to how the world of football is going. Liverpool win the Premier League and Wolves are relegated. That is a surprise to me, but lovely to see the Reds take the title. Real Madrid just edge it ahead of Barca in Spain. As you can see, in the Bundesliga, it was a dominant performance by Bayern Munich. 25 points they win by with Leipzig second right there. Serie A as well, Juve winning the league, and I think we'll have PSG winning in France, so no major surprises. Champions League as well, we did have Chelsea winning the Champions League ahead of Liverpool 2-0. So it was Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech getting the goals. Liverpool playing quite well, more shots, but Chelsea, the champions of Europe again. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this little season recap. It is my first attempt at a season recap like this, so I hope you enjoyed. Definitely leave me some feedback. What did I miss? What can I include next time? Or would you just like me to completely bin these off and skip to the next season? Let me know. I'm all for hearing it. But if you enjoyed today, make sure you smash that like button. Drop a sub on the channel as well if you're new. And I am streaming over on Twitch quite regularly right now, so make sure you go and check me out over there. Link in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one.